our revolutionary, Bobi Wine, the following people from Uganda, we have Nevis, we have Dr. Rose, and let me invite Mr. Nevis to do some quick introduction. Comrade Viva! Viva! Comrade Power! Power! Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, but that's the Kenyan version. Let me now give you our people power version from Uganda, right? Yes. When I say people power, you say our power. When I say our power, you say people power. People power! Our power! People power! Our power! Our power! People's power! Our power! People's power! People power! Our power! Thank you very much. I use the best to introduce the team we came with from Uganda before requesting Dr. Roy to come and just give us brief remarks. But we are very excited to be here with you guys. Thank you for the energy, for the warm welcome that you're giving us today. When I see us here, I see the images, the new energy in Africa. I see the new Nelson Mandela, I see the new Kenyatta, I see the new great Timothy, I see the great men and women of the century past. So I am called David Lewis as a lawyer and a member of People Power in Uganda. We have Hilary Musimeta, the lawyer. Then we have Dr. Roy Semboga. Please stand up for recognition. Then we have Mr. Andrew Kalabachi, also a lawyer. And then we have Nubian Lee. Nubian Lee is an artist. And we have other musicians and producers. Where is that selected David? People Power. We have Mr. Kato.
People Power.
And we have the only magician in the house, Dan Magic.
People Power.
So thank you so much. Let me invite Dr. Roy Semboga to come and just give us very brief remarks. As before we receive the whole leader of our generation in Uganda, Honorable Chamberlain, we are really grateful for you guys, for your support, and for all the energy. Thank you so much.
Viva Nairobi, viva! Viva! Viva Kilimani, viva! Viva! Viva Kenya, viva! Viva! Viva Uganda, viva! Viva! Viva People Power, viva! Viva! Ra! Cha 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 cha. I hope I'm doing it right. A heart full of love, full of peace, and full of companionship is a heart that renews humanity. It is courteous of I and the team we came with to sincerely appreciate your solidarity with us at the time when our friend, our vision bearer, was incarcerated. Thank you, Kenya. Thank you very much for standing with us. I want to address you on major two issues. One, solidarity. Why is it very important for all of us, particularly East Africa, to come together? As you must be aware that 51% of the free Bobi Wine hashtag came from Kenya. 51% of it came from Kenya, and the rest of the world shared the other 49%. There are over 45 million tweets That literally means over 27 came from Kenya. Thank you very much. If it wasn't for you, perhaps our senior comrade, our friend, our brother, our father would have been still incarcerated under very big and various activities coming from Uganda. I want to thank you very much for that. But that's not the issue. One, 60%, over 60% of Uganda's exports, rather imports, pass through Kenya. Over 40% of the exports from Kenya land into Uganda. The solidarity has been in place through our economic engagements. So it is rather prudent and very important that we, the young people, will embrace that solidarity. Any economic challenge, any turmoil in Kenya directly affects the economics in Uganda and vice versa. So it is very important that we maintain this solidarity. As Honorable Chairman Senator Bobi was incarcerated in Gulu, Diana Brigada was facing similar political persecution in Rwanda. Mikino Miguna from Kenya was being deported back. In Tanzania, the biggest opposition leader was shot 38 times. So there is no doubt that the people in charge of our country, one, compare notes, two, reinforce each other, three, they celebrate when they win over us. So it is important we, the Mwananchi, the common people, come together and we address these impunities. The post-colonial leaders, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Osagyefo of Ghana, Haile Selassie, they were so committed to this continent that they fought together. The biggest dictator in the world so far, Ndugu Museveni Yoweri, in 1972, he was fighting the Boremo War, which wasn't the Ugandan war. But because of the comradeship that they learned from the post-colonial leaders, the Julius Kambarage Nyerere, they extended solidarity everywhere in Africa. It is very important for us that we should revive that solidarity and bring Africa together as one big continent. Let me address about the revolution, then I'll leave the stage because many speakers. The Popular Revolution is a revolution that is centered on people. There is a syndrome of savior syndrome. When you rally behind Baba Odinga and you support him, or whoever you support, you make him look like a kingmaker. But the People Power Revolution, everyone must fight the war and everyone is equal in that war. There is no leader and there is no follower. Such an idea is premised on one, reinforcement of institutions. That institutions and people must work, not individuals. In such an ideology, it portrays a society where leaders must be afraid of the people, not the other way around. When leaders are afraid of people, that is liberty. When people are afraid of the leaders, that is tyranny. We should fight tyranny. As I conclude, because conclude I must. Go back and tell your friends that this revolution could have sparked in Uganda, but it's a revolution that's going to cut across Africa. And tell everyone out there, where they're wishing us well or ill, that we are ready to pay any price. We are going to meet any burden. We are going to oppose the enemy and support our friends to ensure the survival of this revolution. To me, I feel like destiny is calling. And if all of you could see the way I see, that the time is right now to shake off our slumber, slow off our fear, and we do what is going to be done then you are making Africa great again. Thank you very much.
Thank you for very nice presentation. Now there are people that I will just recognize. We have the National Youth Alliance Chairperson. Just wait, kindly, just wait. We have the Unity Youth General, just wait. Thank you for that correction. And now I will give Mr. Bobi 1 minute to say hello. And then I think we have about 2 to 3 speakers and we're done. Thank you.
What is the purpose of the Constitution? The government is respect the Constitution. What is my freedom of expression?
Comrades, Viva! Viva! My name is Bob Jaggi. I'm very honored to be here today before you distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bobi Wine, Karibu Kenya. Mheshimiwa Bobi Wine, His Excellency Bobi Wine, Karibu Kenya. Mheshimiwa Babu Owino, Mheshimiwa Simba Arati, Dagoretti 001. Viva! Chairman KHRC, Bwana Kigoro, asante sana kwa kutayarishia hii kikao. Na viongozi wengi ambao mko hapa ndani, hamjambo? Hamjambo. Mimi natoka kikundi ambayo inaitwa Free Kenya Movement, ambayo it is a people-driven referendum initiative. We have chosen this direction of a referendum to represent the interest of the people. And we are invoking Article 257 of the Constitution of Kenya that gives we the people the sovereign right to exercise our power, either directly or indirectly. By going through the referendum, we are choosing to exercise our sovereignty directly. Our slogan as Free Kenya Movement is people power, higher power. Okay? People power, higher power. 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 People's power, higher power. People's power. Because the power of the people is higher than the people in power. Are we together? The reason why we have come here today in support of Bobi Wine, Babu Owino, and the movement that has been created here in Africa is because we believe in change. Not only change for our own selfish interests, but guided by the principle that Africa can rise, Africa is a great nation, and we have what we need to make Africa a great continent. Before I speak further, I want to invite a few leaders from the Free Kenya Movement who are here with kindly to bring some t-shirts to present to Mr. Babu Owino, to present to His Excellency Bobi Wine, and Mheshimiwa Simba Arati and the rest. Kindly and the t-shirt. Now anybody who wants to be part of the Free Kenya Movement, you are very much welcome as students. We want you to be cooperative and you guys to rise in as your own initiative. You have county conventions going on in all of 7 counties, from Nairobi County to Turkana County. So feel free to sign our referendum forms. We have them here. Okay, we have the referendum forms here. So if you put your signature here, as long as you're a registered voter, what we are advocating for is for 2 things. 1, we want to abolish all taxes on basic and essential commodities. Point number 1, okay? Abolish all taxes on basic and essential commodities. Hiyo ni vitu kama mafuta, maziwa, sukari, unga. Serikali inafaa kulipisha ushuru kwa hizo vitu. Secondly, we are saying that we want to restructure the size of government, and that is a conversation for another day, not for this forum. But we invite you to be part of the Free Kenya Movement. People power! Higher power! People power! Higher power! People power! Higher power! Higher power. Tomorrow tutakuwa kule Jakaranda. Tumekaribishwa na Mheshimiwa Bobi. Kwa hivyo tutamiminika kule, manake sisi ni wanasiasa zaidi kuliko kikao ya ndani ya nyumba. Sawa? Tunawakaribisha nyote kuja Jakaranda ili tusaidiane pamoja hii safari ya referendum.
We shall be there.
Sasa pia tutakuwa Kibra. Wangapi wanasema Kibra? People power. People power. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Asante sana, mpe makofi, watu makofi yake. Clap for it. Asante sana. Now, I want to introduce a special guest, our beautiful Madame here is Chef Okore from Siasa Place.
People power. People power. Our power. People power. People power. I think first of all, I just want to say it's beautiful to be here, to see young people, mad men and women, like Thomas Sankara said. We need mad men and women to be able to construct and deconstruct So I am happy in so many ways and not just one. Because first of all, I am seeing young people who are mad. I am seeing young people who are angry. And I am seeing young people who are saying no more shenanigans, no more bullshit. We need leadership. And we need to stand up together. So I am honored to be here in all of your presence, and I'm honored to be here in the presence of young people and young leadership who are actually showing us courage, who are telling us what we can and what is possible. I am proud that a moment like this exists, where young people are standing together and they're saying enough is enough. And that we will no longer condone gender violence. That young people will not be killed and the people who kill us will go unpunished. That we will not queue in unemployment lines when they steal our opportunities and leave to their children. We will not. We will not allow them rallying us behind nonsense political organizations. We will rise and rise as one people. People power. People power.
Wapi makofi yake? Asante sana. Now I'll invite another lady, Stella Agata. Where are you at?
Comrades power. Comrades power. Comrades Divin. Comrades Riak. Comrades Tialala. Comrades. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Tabulani, Honorable Babu, Honorable Simba, all the guests with us, all protocol observed. I did not realize that I was going to be having a conversation of this kind of level of power today. I had prepared a very sober presentation that was going to be pointing us at where we need to be included and why we need to be there. And now I'm having a bit of difficulty presenting the presentation that I had. Okay? So I'll just say a few words. Is that okay? People power. A number of things. Number one, there are different levels of leadership that we are required to participate in now, because either legislation or conventions or tools that have been passed give us permission to do so. Okay? In Kenya, we have specific political parties.
We have the National Youth Council, those places are for young people. In the East Africa community, we have the East Africa Community Youth Council that very many of us do not know about. Students' organizations are actually supposed to be producing representation for this council, and yet it is not established right now. The Africa Youth Convention does require every government to have 2 youth representatives in every delegation representing the country in their delegations to regional meetings. Have you seen it happening? Have you seen it happening?
No.
Do we have young people in this country?
Yes.
Isn't that an error? Isn't that an error? Yes. We must correct it. Comrade power. We must correct that. Apart from that, the spaces that are not provided within our laws and our legislation exist outside. This space is available for all of us to use and all of us to apply. Okay? So young people must be included, young people must engage, young people must participate. Na sio tafadhali.
Yes.
Are we together? Sio tafadhali. We must engage. Where spaces are not created, we must cut out our niche in those spaces and force our heads in. When they allow our heads, what do? We bring down the entire tent. Are we together?
Yes.
Comrades power.
Power.
Comrades Timu.
Yes.
Comrades Tialala.
Yes.
My name is Stella Gara. I am a governance and youth development specialist. I hail from Embakasi East constituency, where Honorable Dr. Windo comes from, and I'm a powerful lady from Kenya.
Thank you. That presentation was equally powerful, right? Comrades power! Comrades Bobi! Okay, now I'll invite the CEO of Kenya Young Parliamentarian Association, Mr. Buluma, to come give us brief remarks.
Comrade power! Comrade power! There's a new slogan in the Metifunza from our brothers from Uganda. People power. Our power. People's power. Please let's say it like we mean it. People power. Our power. We mean that in every letter of that word. First is to recognize my seniors, the Honorable Bobi, who's our Secretary General, a good brother and friend, Bobi Wine, the Honorable Zimanati, so many friends present, Governor Dr. George Kegoro, who is the gentleman behind the success story of Kenya Human Rights Commission. My work is simple. Wakati sikuwa hapa tulikuwa tunajaribu kupanga kazi hizo masehemu zingine. And I really want to thank the student fraternity, particularly the student leaders who've been working with us on this journey. As KYPA, we are committed to ensure that you guys are not just talked about or people talk to you, but you're included in every important decision-making process in this country. So I will urge us, as student leaders, to remain vigilant, to remain committed to the cause of championing for the best and the welfare of the young people of our great country. As KYPA, we will lead from the front. We will not walk from behind to ensure that kama ni kuwatetea, tunawatetea wasana. Juzi, a number of student leaders from, I think one of the universities I don't want to mention, alikuja alikuwa na this concern that they are being mishandled, and we raised it up at the level of our parliament. And pretty soon, you'll be hearing a lot of big things happening for the students. And I'm sure the Secretary General will be talking about that. So, yetu tu si kuongea, we want to talk and act. Please note that as students, you're youth of this country, you have an office at KICC. Anytime you have time and you want to come and engage with the young members of parliament, our policy at the office is an open door policy. So you come, raise it up, say this is what we want. And we want to ensure that the Parliament of Kenya leads any other parliament in the world as being the most youth-friendly, youth-responsive, and youth empowerment. So I want to urge you to continue to partner with us, and thank you so much to Human Rights Commission and all the stakeholders that have made this possible. From where we sit, tunasema tu, comrade power, people power, our power. God bless you.
Thank you, Manabuluma, for being brief as a chemical equation where water simply becomes H2O. So, at this juncture, I want to hand over the microphone to Honorable Bobi, who will in turn invite other honorable members who are there.
Comrade power! Comrade ria! Comrade ra! Comrade tibim! Comrade tialara! People power! People power! Our power! People's power! Our power! People's power! And that is how it is. Comrades, thank you very much. First, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the comrades for attending this function. Secondly, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome His Excellency Bobi Wine, Robert Changulani, to the comrade fraternity. Honorable, you can see these are intellectuals, and the intellectual capacity is at optimum. Honorable, these comrades, when they go to exams, they cannot pay, they can only differ with the examiners. Comrade power! Comrade ria! Comrade ra! Comrade tibim! People power! Our power! People's power! And when they are born copying exams, they say they were just referring but not copying. I would again like of contradiction, Honorable, that during the post-election activities in Kenya, specifically in Nairobi, all the activities which were being organized was only Simbarati and I, 2 members of parliament. The rest are I would also like to thank Kenya Human Rights Commission for having played a very major role in hosting Honorable Bobi Wine and the team. We were working together with Kenya Human Rights Commission. Student leaders who are here, thank you very much for attending this function together with the comrades. Comrades are as brief as a cock on a hen. I want the maiden speech to be given to you by Honorable Bobi Wine himself. Not himself, himself. You know the other one is called himself. So, comrades, we as comrades, we've decided that in Africa we are going to have a movement. We are going to have one movement. We've communicated to Honorable Bobi Wine. We've communicated to Honorable Julius Malema. We have communicated to Professor Jerry of Tanzania. We have communicated to Chamisa of Zimbabwe. And we are planning to communicate to more leaders about Africa. Because Africa is a country that has so many resources, yet it is the poorest. Africa is the only nation where a Chinese will come and misbehave, abuse the rights of the African citizens. It is the only continent that is the richest, yet it is the poorest. That if we decide as leaders that we want to develop this continent, then everybody here, I believe that the future will be very bright. And in comrades, they say the future is glorious. Thanks to Owiti Award. Therefore, comrades,
will be holding rallies in various African countries. And any person is loyal to the interest. Any person is loyal to the interest of the comrades who will be fighting for the rights of their citizens. That person will be loyal to. That is how it is. Comrades, as Bobi have been serving you before. I served you before in the capacity of a student leader. I think in the whole of the world, I was the longest serving student leader. The difference between me and Museveni is that Bobi agreed to leave. Museveni has refused. He said, therefore, comrades, I want to appreciate the effort that you made in fighting for our comrade. Our comrade, we know very well that for something good to happen, another thing must break. For a seed to germinate, the ground must break. For it to rain, the clouds must break. For a child to be born, something must break. Give him people's power, our power, people's power. For Bobi Wine to be the president of Uganda, Museveni must break. I know it is possible and it shall be possible. The future is here. There is no any other future. What we want, the leaders we want are all here with you. Youthful, ambitious, and they want the best for the interest of their citizens. As Bobi know, only death will prevent me from supporting and working for my constituents. My constituents are the Comrades Fraternity, Embakasi constituency, and Kenyans as a whole. Therefore, comrades, Kenyans and Africa. Yes. Comrades, okay. Comrades, I believe that wherever we are, the future is great. There's light after the tunnel. We came from the dark days. And those dark days, slowly by slowly, they are diminishing. Through our unity, we will continue fighting for the interest of the comrades of this nation. Comrades, there's this University Act that is being a problem. Next week, I'm filing a petition in the state. To ensure that the universal suffrage comes back to the comrades. You have to elect your leaders. No leadership is there. The idea of the suspended and expelled students, the petition is already with the speaker, and sooner they are going to be back unconditionally. Third, comrades, help is going to be increased and interest rate wiped out. I'm going to ensure that they do that. Comrades, Sonu is coming back. Comrades, let me take this opportunity to welcome my senior, General, Honorable Simba Albert.
People's power, our power, people's power. My brothers and sisters, my name is Simba Alati, MP Dagoretti North. My brother Bobi Wine, my brother Bobi, my brother Kigoro, came from Kenya Human Rights Commission. My brother Captain Bat. I want to take stories from time. For one, just to take a minute for the honor of our brother, Bobi. Just for the great inspiration and awakening of the spirit that which had gone down again. We have come here to remind ourselves of the violence agents of our own times. My brother said, when I want to give just an analogy of what happened when I went to see him in the cells of the election police station. At 3 a.m., because we would not be allowed to go to the police station, I found him in the middle of street boys. I had to plead with the police, please bring my colleague out, let him sleep in the corners. My brother, Bobi, we have gone through this. There's nothing better than this country too. You may think that we are better than you people, would be more worse situations than it is in Uganda. And I've said it. A time that these people came to my place, barricaded the gates with armored vehicle, only to find out that I was in Tehran. What am I saying to say? The stripe of this place, I've seen my brother Victor up there. We used to sit in this room some time back when I was a young boy. When Professor Kifutakiwala could take us through with the wanted change and the new constitution, it was not easy. Today, I want to ask you, my brother, don't look back. Something might be gaining on you without knowing. Let us not be guilty of our wrong deeds. A time has come for us to stand and be counted as a country, as a people. For us, not the likes of Museveni do business with Kenya. And you know, the exchange in milk with sugar passes through Kenya to Uganda for it to be brought back to Kenya. I nearly lost my finger in last parliament because I was having my second term. When we were fighting for the miscellaneous amendments laws that were brought before parliament. When in Mujiri, the only fight that I have with me is to go with my finger. Your brother in this country, your assurance that you can die at part. You can die when you are just a strong young man working for your nation. You can die at an old age. Don't look back. Don't. I was thinking overnight, how can we bring all of us together, my brothers say, the likes of Malema. And the other safari that we have to South Africa is to have Malema. To our work. There is a TV I want to recognize in a special way. My brother's hand. Captain Baptist are up there. I've seen Churchill. Where's Diana? Yes, this is Diana. These are strong people that at their times, this city too, they made us impossible that for us to be able to have a new constitution. Thank you. These are the great people who are I want to say one thing here. That Yakina said that they can't be custodian of our liberation because they cannot understand the dynamics. There is no way. We must be custodian
of our own generation. We must shape our destiny. Because if we don't do that, these guys will walk away with everything. Including people's power. Our power. People's power. Last week, you know, we may be crying of 7. There is worse people than 7 in Kenya. A guy is PA is caught in a house with 700 million Kenya shillings. Cash. These guys, they can walk in this city, giving 10 million for every child, and they are praying. 20 million, they are praying. Then, through Dr. Bobi, 17 billion Kenya shillings has passed through his account, and Muge meant to be a poor man. Only Muge to have to be used to buy 6 helicopters. Then turn around, tell us you want to hire choppers for your office. As young people, you must stand, otherwise tomorrow you get fined that you don't have anything, even for your own children and your wife. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Now we are coming to the main man, and before I bring him here to speak to the comrades, we have to know, comrades, that the difference between a young man and an old man is that the old man knows how to be young, and at the same time he knows how to be old. But a young man does not know how to be old. Therefore, it is time for the young man to work and know how to be people's power. Our power. Comrades Ria. Comrades Gigi. Thank you very much. It is always our way on the high. Comrades, I want you just to stand up and give our brother a warm welcome. His Excellency, Honorable Bobi Wine, welcome. Come and speak to your people. They want to tackle from the nipples of their wisdom. Comrades power! Comrades Ria! Comrades Ra! Comrades Team! People's power! Our power! People's power! People power! Our power! People's power! Welcome, Kono hapa. People power! Our power! People's power! People power! Our power! People's power! Welcome, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Comrades, viva! Viva! Comrades, power! Power! Comrades, kibim! Kibim! Comrades, yalala! Yalala! Viva Kenya, viva! Viva! Viva Uganda, viva! Viva! Viva East Africa, viva! Viva!
you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Comrade Babu, for the invitation. Thank you, Comrade Simba, the wise one. Thank you, Comrade Sigoro, and the entire Kenya Human Rights Commission. Thank you, Kenyan comrades. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I bring greetings from Uganda. I bring greetings from the men of Uganda. I bring greetings from the women of Uganda. I bring greetings from the students of Uganda. I bring greetings from the intellectuals of Uganda. And more importantly and directly, I bring greetings from the ghetto people of Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't take this opportunity for granted. I've been to Kenya so many times as an artist on my private business. But this time it is special, ladies and gentlemen. It is special because it feels like a second chance to me. It's more like a chance I never ever expected to have, but I have it today. Thanks to you, my comrade Dr. Roy has already told you that more than 50% of the pre-Bobi Wine hashtags came from Kenya. I come from Uganda. I was born in Uganda. Uganda is my home. But Kenya is my home too. And Kenya is my home not because I say Kenya is my home, but because you, the Kenyan brothers and sisters, have shown me that indeed Kenya is my home too. I thank you in a very special way for standing in solidarity with us at this very critical time. I was talking to my wife just a while ago, and she asked me to strictly deliver greetings from her. She thanks you. Friends, thank you. Friends, I talk to you at this critical time, and I recognize that you're in a very important and critical time of your life, because you're young people. I never used to communicate to young men and women like this, because unlike the comrades here, I was not a leader during my school days. No, I was a musician. I was having my fun. And yes, even if I knew that I had responsibility to communicate positivity to my fellow countrymen and women, and indeed to my fellow Africans, I always had a belief that the responsibility of leadership was for certain people. I come from the ghettos of Kamocha, but I'm one of the few that got opportunity to go to university. And even when I was at university, I always minded my business, or so I thought. I was never involved in politics, ladies and gentlemen, until my comfort was not only threatened, but shaken. I never took leadership serious until I realized that everyone had to play part, particularly me. Until the injustices that I always saw from afar, saw them from afar because I was kind of safe, I was a celebrity, I was a rich young man, I was a successful artist. It didn't matter to me. I was telling my friends over lunch a story that a soldier came to me because I was driving a very expensive Escalade at the age of 25. and slapped the hell out of me. I used to be a boxer by profession, so I moved out of the car to show slapped me even harder and asked why I am showing off, as if I don't know that the country Uganda had owners. He slapped me a few more times, and the people who are actually my fans gathered, wondering what is wrong with their star. And even the bouncers of the club came, and you know what they did? They went to the guy holding the gun and pleaded with him to forgive me.
That's bad.
Yeah. He forgave me and warned me never to walk in waves, never to pull airs, and never to show off. It was a sad moment. I was with my brother Lobiandi, because he's been my singing partner for a long time. We did not talk to each other. We drove that Escalade, but trust me, it felt as fake as a Corona. Then, I dropped him to the studio and drove back home. But as I was driving back home, all the memories came back to me. All the injustices that have been done to other people. But I didn't speak out because it didn't matter to me anyway. I remembered because as a music star, and I know we have music stars in Kenya who are the attraction of all these powerful people. They're always our friends. Powerful people are always my friends. And they always abuse people's rights with impunity. Very few times I would, politely tell them to stop it, but I would not stand up to them. And yes, I remembered that I had a very close friend who was a colonel. Unfortunately, he died recently, who was shooting a game of pool in our ghetto in Kamocha, and was shooting pool with a young boy who beat him at the pool game. And the little boy laughed at him. You know what the soldier did? Pulled out a gun and shot the guy, and the guy died. That passed like that. Nobody reported. After all, where would they report? So all these memories came back to me. And there was a voice that was telling me, you deserve it. It is that time that I resolved that I will not condone injustice. It is that time that my music changed, the lyrics of my music changed. I started, raising my voice and changing my lyrics to fight injustice. That took around 10 years until 2016, when I realized that yes, I raised my voice, I talked about it, but the change that I desired would take more than just words. And so when there was an opportunity, I stood to represent my constituency, which is Chalmers East, hoping to raise the same voice I was raising musically on the floor of Parliament. That was only part one, ladies and gentlemen. So I got elected to Parliament. And yes, like any other cautious member of Parliament, I tried to raise my voice, only to realize that I was known jumping from the frying pan into the fire. But I was also encouraged to know that the fire that was burning inside me was burning hotter and brighter than the fire that was burning outside me. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how I ended up as a leader, formerly. That is how I ended up as a politician, although I still hate to call myself a politician. Because where I come from in Uganda, and indeed in many parts of Africa, the word politician has lost meaning. Many of our leaders have turned the word politician into user, into abuser, into manipulator. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a conversation as young people of Africa. But we must remember that in these very walls where we sit, where we stand, so many great men and women have passed. And yes, so many hypocrites have passed through. It is important that we look at this time, ladies and gentlemen, that we look at everything that we do, everything that we imagine, everything that we talk about as a maker or a breaker of not only ourselves, but our children and their children's children. Our continent, Africa, is rich, super rich. As an artist, I got the opportunity to travel many, many countries. Countries that are not endowed in any way naturally. They don't have any minerals, but they're well developed. Their people are living nicely. But when you come back home, particularly back in our home, the disappointment begins as you are landing. And you wonder, what is wrong with our home? What is wrong with Africa? I remind you, ladies and gentlemen, about the words of Chinua Achebe in the 80s when he was asked what is wrong with Nigeria. He said, the problem with Nigeria is not the rivers or the lakes or the people. No, it is with the leaders. Unfortunately, the same is true right now. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with Kenya or Uganda or Tanzania or Africa as a whole. No, we have everything. We are the richest piece of land on the entire planet. But the problem is leadership. But again, those leaders, the majority of them are old guys. And whether we want or not, they will go. I always tell my friends that we are the leaders of the future, and the future is today. But again, what we think and the kind of leadership that we envision is what is going to determine whether Africa transforms or Africa remains the same. And that's one of the reasons why I rose to the occasion, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reason why, even though it was late, I decided that I will play my part when I still can. And that is why, together with like-minded colleagues in Uganda, we have been trying to raise the consciousness of not only the leaders, not only the politicians, but the common people too, to make sure that we rise to the occasion and accomplish what we will. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure many of you got to know about Bobi Wine or big special interest in Bobi Wine after my brutalization in Arua. I thank you. I feel humbled that my brutalization attracted attention beyond home in Kenya, all over Africa, and indeed in many parts of the world. It humbles me. But I'm not the first person to go through that. Many people have been going through the same. Even on the day when I was brutally arrested, it was the 33 of us. Many guys were beaten. Some will never be able to walk again. There's this young lady who had just had a baby by cesarean section. Man, these guys beat the girl that even by the time I was released, weeks later from jail, she was still passing blood. That is where we are. What started as a simple campaign turned out into something different. But I'm also thankful that that pain did not go in vain. That pain opened our eyes to the fact that we must stand together. We can never thank you enough, guys, for standing with us. And we can never thank you enough for reminding us that we are not alone. But again, what does that teach us? It teaches us that what Dr. Martin Luther King said very many years ago, that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The impunity in Uganda is a threat to the dignity and freedom you have in Kenya. Although you certainly have not achieved the entire freedom that you dream of, but I've told my Kenyan brothers before, and I'll say it again to you, that at least you guys are on the road to where you want to go. And we in Uganda are struggling to get onto that road. And that actually explains the difference with my Rasta brother, who also believes in people power. When we came together in Uganda, we formed a movement called People Power. Our power. Why? Because before anything, our constitution, and that's article number 1 of our constitution, says all power belongs to the people. All power, not some power. All of it. And who are those people? That is us. And yes, Honorable Babu moments ago just put it to me that indeed Article 1 of the Kenyan Constitution says the same. So, what does that mean? If power belongs to the people, and you are the people, then whose power is it?
Our power.
It is our power. It is our power. And to agree with my brother, even if us in Uganda are still being denied that power, we assert that it is our power. And indeed, I must acknowledge that you guys are lucky because at least you have the ability to change leaders. So it is already asserted by you that it is your power. But you want to assert it further that it is not dependent on those leaders. It is higher than those people. That's why you say it is higher power. So, like Comrade Babu has said, we seek to connect the dots. We suffer because we suffer alone. Africa is endowed not only in natural resources, but in human resources. Africa has produced some of the greatest leaders before. And yes, you guys here, we guys here are evidence that those guys once lived. We are the children and grandchildren of those people. And yes, it is important for us to keep coming together and decide what kind of Africa we want to live in. An Africa that will make sense for everybody. An Africa where leaders are actually and really accountable to the people. That's the kind of Africa we dream of. Ladies and gentlemen, more than 32 years ago, our president was in Kenya because Kenya has always been a running space for us. You guys have always welcomed us. Our president came before you and was speaking very nicely to you. Well, not to you, to your fathers and grandfathers, but I'm saying to you because you are evidence that those people live. You're the representation of those people. You are those people. He was asking for guns and help in a war. 32 years later, we come back to you, ladies and gentlemen, not to ask you for guns, but to ask you for togetherness, to ask you for continued solidarity, to ask you for love, to ask you for brotherhood. So the people power idea is not only Ugandan idea or an East African idea. It is an idea for all of Africa, in fact for all of humanity. And until we come together as the people to demand for what's rightfully ours, to demand for the right treatment that we deserve, to demand for dignity, to demand for respect, and to demand for true democracy, we will still be walking in circles. So I stand before you, not to lecture you. No, you guys know stuff. You know your hustle.